The Match Ball.
Hello there, welcome to the show. It's brought to you in association with Levi Solicitors, who will do you a discount of 10% on your legal fees. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Michael, to you.
Yes, yeah, they will. You said it well. You described what they do perfectly. They're solicitors and you get 10% off all the services, conveyancing, wills, probate.
Oh, I didn't see those three coming. A great triple.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to thread through a theme between this and what just happened there at Peterborough in the FA Cup. But yeah, thank you to Levi's for the continued involvement. And it's a new year. If you're moving house, give them a shout for your conveyancing, because that's what that's about, isn't it?
Correct.
Good stuff. Thanks, Michael. 3-0. That was quite un-Leedsy, wasn't it? For an FA Cup tie.
It was far too comfortable, that, wasn't it? It was nice, enjoyable. I'm not used to it at all. There's a fourth round, it turns out.
Yeah. Game started. We looked the better team. And that's pretty much how it stayed.
Scored the goal of the season. Easy.
Yeah, as Ben's just saying, quality performance, regardless of the level of the opposition. Clean sheet, 3 goals, no chances for them. Should have had 2 penalties. And we could have had a chance for more.
And who had Ethan Ampadu brace Pat Bamford goal of the season?
Well,
as a double.
Let's start with that, because that is the one that's going to quite rightly take the headlines. What a finish. What a finish.
I managed to miss this goal first time around, which has robbed me of it, really, because I thought I had a minute before the second half was starting, so I was outside getting a drink, and I was on my way back in, and I could just hear laughter coming from this room. I was like, what's happened? I
was like, quickly, drop the drinks. Goal of the season's just been scored.
It wasn't even like a crazy celebration, was it? We were just sat here like, couldn't quite believe our eyes. Like, he's actually just pulled that off there. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, we
what a goal.
didn't go bananas because it was so unexpected. We just went, oh, he's just taken the ball down and scored goal of the season. What's he done?
Didn't even let it bounce, did he? Straight off the chest.
Didn't need to.
Off his foot into the net.
That swivel and like snap of the volley is just beautiful. And Farke's face after it, just his little smirk, as if he knew all along that was going to happen.
It was like the little smirking meme. You know that one?
Yeah, another one.
The smirking meme. It was like that.
But you found a good picture of Billy Nonto as well, with his hands on his head, looking at Pat Bamford doing
sheer disbelief.
What?
It'll do the right. Yeah, the picture agency that we use to get our pictures. Yeah, it's knocking about on. They'll do the rounds in due course. Anyway, I don't want to sort of put it out on the internet without having paid for it or whatever.
I really wish he'd have celebrated that goal by cupping his ears. He'd earned that one.
He seems to be having a nicer time of it, doesn't he? Just generally speaking, he seems to have, like, I don't know, relaxed into it or whatever.
Pat Bamford.
Yeah,
got an assist today as well.
Did he?
Yep.
He did. Oh, he did that first goal, wasn't he?
He laid it off for Ampadu.
Phil Hay on Twitter described that as Bamford sort of knocked it down, which I think is an accurate description.
Yeah, I think he tried to control it.
It was a controlled assist.
But fine.
Yeah. But, this is the point. It's going to drop to you in the box, then it drops to you in the box, fine.
When you've got a fox in the box like Ethan Ampadu, just sniffs these chances out.
He does.
Yeah, 2 goals. What's that for his career now?
4, I think. Or maybe even 3. I'm not sure. He never ever scores goals. And I had thought this year, having watched some of his shooting, I'd thought he's never going to score for us either.
Yeah.
But it turns out if you're like in the 6-yard box and no one's going to try and stop you, he can score goals, because there was no one near him for either of those, I don't think.
You described the marking for the Ampadu second as very Leeds-ish, just as we watched a replay of Ampadu just walking into the box on his own and nobody picking him up, which
there
is
you go.
nice.
If you just run into that, walk into that space there.
There was a little bit of weirdness around that first goal, wasn't there, which could make Darren Ferguson cry. We will check in on the manager's comments afterwards, but I fully expect him to go like he did once before when we beat him in one of the many, many times he was boss before at Peterborough. But the whistle, not whistle, what happened?
It was weird because as he took the free kick, Anthony, I went, oh, fucking hell, because the ref blew his whistle. It wasn't quite clear when, and the Peterborough defence stopped, so I assumed, oh, is he pulling this back for something? But then there was talk at half-time, it was on the BBC Matchday blog, that there was a fan in the stand who was thrown out because he blew his whistle, but that was before the referee blew his, so it was all a bit unclear. I just think Darren Ferguson's a big baby who should stop moaning.
Yeah, he's got form for it, hasn't
he? Yeah.
And I mean, truthfully, he can't really complain about that result, can he?
I hope he tries.
Yeah, it was pretty comprehensive, wasn't it? We were just
miles better.
Made a load of changes. Yeah. It was a golfing class, I would say.
Yeah.
Quite clear.
That's what we mean about it being quite an un-Leedsy thing, is we just went in and did the very thing that we've been imploring them to do for so long, which was to go in and just be in control of a game, win it easily. come out of it without any injuries, suspensions, or anything like that.
At 2-0 so early in the second half, there's a bit you're thinking it's going to take a lot to mess this up now. Like we're going to have to actually really actively go to Leeds this in.
Even though you are Captain Doom, I mean, did you at any point think we were going to chuck that one in?
Not really.
No.
Not really. I mean, the second half is when you think, well, maybe at half time they're going to come out with a bit of renewed impetus. They're going to push us a bit more or something. But then we just scored and it was like, well, there you go. Fuck off. Back in your box. Whatever you were planning to do, you can't do it anymore because we've got that done now.
The opening goal was a nice time to score as well because we started the game really well, had a few chances. Then it kind of just stopped for a bit. Felt like nothing happened for 20 minutes. And then just as they looked like they might cause a bit of threat, we just went, nah.
Yeah, because Archie Gray missed that chance early on, didn't he, when their keeper, who was quite laughable all day trying to pass it out from the back, he just passed it straight to him, didn't he, on the edge of the box, and then Gray passed it back to him, more or less, because it was not particularly well hit shot, was it?
Bamford had that header early on as well, which was none so very nice cross.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the other chances around the hour mark. We had Anthony, volley, good chance, 70 minutes, Pirro chance from the Bamford knockdown. There was quite a lot going on there, wasn't there? Chances to have scored more. But yeah, again, the 3-0 probably was more reflecting of, I think, the scale of our superiority in that game. I think that's probably fair, isn't it, about that?
I think it felt about right. I suppose it felt like we didn't carve them open too often, but then I don't think they had any. Their best chances seemed to come from deflected crosses. There were two where there was one from the right, one from the left, where it deflected up and Klaassen had to sort of, I think he scrambled one way with his leg and the other was spinning and he managed to spill it. There was a shot where they cut inside from the left past Rodon and another shot, but I think it was about a yard wide.
Yeah.
So, no chances.
But you were right as well. You touched on it before, like the marking for that corner for the 3-0. Bit Leedsy, wasn't it? That
not asked.
Bit Leedsy.
Fine.
Just
score.
Game was over as a contest anyway, then, wasn't it?
They had a few moments of just kicking it straight out of play as well. We thought we are just better than them. Their keeper, like you say, was such good fun. I really enjoyed his performance. There was a moment at the end of the first half where I think he just collected a routine ball, but you could tell he clearly didn't know what to do after that, and he was just looking confused, and the crowd were getting a bit on him, and I think he just booted it out of play then as well.
Which one of the two of you was it that said it's interesting that or it might play into our hands a little bit, that they've been good at the top of League One and they're probably used to having dominating possession and dominating games, so they felt a little bit more able to come into that confident that they could do the same against us and hold the ball rather than just try and sit deep and hit us on the counter.
I think it was me who made that excellent point.
Nah, Rob, it must have been.
I just ignored it. I thought it was nonsense.
And I stand by it.
So here he goes again. Yap. But I think it was a fairly good point because they were trying to play out from the back and it just, I don't know, it didn't work for them, did it?
No.
It doesn't look rubbish. Like they'd ever tried to play out from the back before.
League One is terrible though. If you cast your mind back, God, there are some awful teams in it. So you probably can get away with that a lot more. Whereas it felt like even with the number of changes we've made, we felt we were comfortably the better team always, and they didn't quite know how to adapt.
It's nice though because we've made changes in the past this season. There's been a noticeable drop off, and sure we are playing a League One team, but you want players like Bamford to come in and score goals, and I thought Anthony was quite bright at times. Nonto maybe not as good as we have seen like last season, but then he put in that cross for Bamford early on, which he should have scored from. And there's a beautiful cross in the second half, was it, where Bamford was about to tap it in at the back post, and their defender did really well to clear it, to be fair.
What do you think of the starting lineup and the changes? I'm thinking we got Anthony to factor into this. Nonto, who did his best to nearly get sent off, but we got the right back situation with Shax there as well. What do you reckon to it all? Steady away, wasn't it? I mean, the result obviously reflects that it worked.
Anthony had a more productive game. I thought it felt like he actually caused him some problems on that side. Nonto frustrated again. He's not getting much luck though, is he, Nonto? Because I think as much as was it a penalty? Yeah, you've seen him given. They're always given. Yeah. They're always given of those. But equally, I've just have a general issue with penalties.
I thought that was a definite penalty. It just seems far too obvious not to be one. And Nonto, I feel like he doesn't get anything from refs. I don't think he helps himself by completely like just bollocking them all the time and also being a bit of a diver sometimes. But that one, it was like, come on, it might not have been a deliberate trip, but he's in the way and he's just brought him down in the penalty area.
And he stuck his left leg out, I think, that didn't hit the defender, and then Nonto trailed his left leg, so they collided. And you say trailed it, it's not like he trailed it in the way that bloody Jota did for Liverpool and then fell over 5 minutes later. It was all done in real time, I guess.
I feel like this happens every week, and I always end up saying, I don't mind if that's not a penalty as long as it's never a penalty. Because you'll see that given time and time again, so I'd like to have it. And that one at the end for handball as well was a penalty as well.
Yeah, we're live streaming this for our TSB Plus members on YouTube, and Elliot's asking, will you accept 27 yellow cards from Nonto instead of goals this season to redeem his turncoatery at the start of the season in the summer?
It'd be an interesting season to get 27 yellows.
I do feel like you'd end up in front of the FA.
At some point, yeah, someone's going to go, that's
mate.
too many.
Yeah.
It's too many. I think you're going to be, eventually you're going to be looking at like an 8-game ban or something, aren't you, for that? But yeah, I felt a bit frustrated for him because he's obviously been a bit unlucky, I think, as Nonto there with, in 2 games this year, we should probably have had penalties, shouldn't it? Because there was the one at Preston? Well, West Brom, I can't remember. One of those 2 games that we lost where he just got lobbed on the floor. Nothing was given. But no, I thought he was fine. Anthony was better. Grove and Gray in the middle seemed to work, but then it didn't seem like a game really played in midfield.
No, I think Grove just kept things ticking over, didn't he? He just sort of does the boring things, which is fine. You need players to do that.
He's the water carrier, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and then actually, maybe a quiet game, like he's finishing a bit frustrating today, but he had loads of really nice touches where he just looks like a good footballer. There's a few times today we were sat here just going, isn't he good? Like,
yeah, he's great fun.
His general poise and balance and everything, it just looks really nice, doesn't it, to watch? The way he moves away from challenges and stuff. He's just got a real silkiness about him.
Classy, I think, is the word. He's a classy midfielder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does look more at home in his natural environment of the midfield, doesn't he, compared to right back? And I know you're playing against a League One side, so you've got to sort of factor that in. But all the same, looked all right, I thought.
Yeah, that was
very good.
And
yeah.
Shackleton was fine at right back.
You mentioned Anthony. I thought he looked after the ball quite well, did Anthony? Even if he's not spectacular all the time, doesn't always beat him, and he just seemed to just to have the run of it down that left hand side.
Yeah, and there were a few times where he got a touch unlucky, where he'd do a little step over, beat a man, and shot wasn't quite there, or his cross would get blocked or something. But
he looked desperate to score today. Certainly once we had that second goal, whenever he got the ball, it was like, oh, can I have a go?
Yeah, but I thought they all did pretty well. Yeah, Shackleton had one mad little moment, didn't he? Where there was one where did he dummy a cross? I think the cross came in, it looked like he was going to clear it, and it was a swing and a miss. And then before then, I think he had another swing and a miss.
Yeah, and that's when he held his hamstring.
Yeah, so that was an interesting minute for him, but that side, it was fine. You know what you get from Shackleton, don't you, really?
Klassen had one little moment towards the back end of the game where it sort of bobbled off him, didn't it? But other than that, he's looked solid in the games that he's played so far. Because there was a point at which we it was said with a like kind of where you go up an octave when you're asking a question, but is Klassen our best keeper?
He caught a corner, didn't he? We were all just like, yes, someone can do that.
Just sometimes come out and collect it rather than punch it.
Yeah. Sometimes on the ball, he seems very relaxed and that he'll let an opposition player get very close to him. But then again, his passing was all right. It was all good.
Yeah. It's nice because considering, what we saw from him in the 23s when he first signed, when he looked like a rabbit in the headlights, he feels like he's beefed up, he's grown his hair, he's dyed his hair, he's more confident, he's all a bit older and wiser.
Yeah, and he's probably on the bench for the next game.
Yeah. Did you put Melier straight back in?
He probably is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's your number one keeper, isn't he? Yeah. Darlow, broken hand, put him back in.
With the broken hand, yeah.
Just get out there and give it the best that you got. What else do we need to talk about then? So their sponsors, the various sponsors were very entertaining today. We enjoyed that, didn't we?
The picture of the large man in the stand opposite the camera.
Was that Big John?
Big John.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it at full time. Leeds tweeted the result with Big John's catchphrase. Just said Bosh.
Oh, did
Which is nice.
Yeah. Isn't he quite a big man in the sense that he could probably hurt you? So you just be careful with that.
Outrun him. That's what I'm relying on.
He had the laundry service on the sleeves, which was nice, and Mick George on the shirts, which I like to think was just a bloke called Mick George, but apparently not. Is it a skip hire company?
Yeah, there was a man with a skip on his head as a mascot before the game.
That's quite a novel act, that.
Yeah. I can't remember which ground it was. Some League One days where there was a halftime competition of people trying to kick the balls into a shed without a roof on.
Right.
As some sort of promotion for a local company. That was quite good. Could do the same with a skip.
It's nice that we can be condescending about League One sponsors.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the position of having won 3-0. Interesting point by Joshua in the comments on YouTube, just saying that our starting 11 last season would have lost that 3-0.
I mean, we did beat Accrington at this stage last year, didn't we? Or was that fourth round? I
I think that was third round.
That was third because
Was that third?
Georgie came in, wasn't it?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
We tried our best to mess it up against Cardiff, didn't we?
Yeah, we very nearly went out then, didn't we? But thank God we managed to stay in so we could lose to Fulham.
Probably. Something like that. But that was Cardiff was the day of our new hero, Sonny Perkins.
It was,
He's gone from strength to strength since then.
Daft lad. That does beg the question of, because we're going into the fourth round. Yes, it does exist, Rob. Who are we away to next? Man City, you're going to go for, maybe?
I feel like that's almost too
Is
straightforward.
it too obvious? Will it be somebody like maybe Palace or Fulham?
Fulham's a good shout, actually.
Yeah.
Again, it's another 2-0 defeat of Fulham.
And it'd be very Leedsy to get a tie that you just don't want.
Yeah, someone we've played loads of times
Oh, it's you again.
anyway, and we're like, oh, right.
Or it's about time we lose to Wrexham with Sean Harvey there.
Oh, God.
And cameras will be there.
He somehow, they contrive it so he comes on and scores the winning goal.
Sean Harvey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Runs straight into his kitchen. You know that kitchen that he's got?
Yeah.
That was built around the same time as the thing was done.
No, he's moved from that house
Oh,
now.
has he moved? He sold that one?
Yeah, he sold it.
Right, and just goes, gets a bottle of champagne and sprays it everywhere. And yeah, it's in the documentary and we all hate him. Sorry, I got waylaid with a little daydream then. We've done the sponsors, laundry service, Mick George. Oh, didn't you have some sort of anecdote you were saving for this?
No, I've mentioned it earlier, but just Sheffield Sharks are sponsored by
The Sheffield Sharks, are they
the basketball
the Hoops?
team.
Yeah.
Their shorts have Karen Child written on, and she seems to just be a woman from Sheffield who's won the lottery.
Right.
Don't seem to be advertising anything.
If you won the lottery, would you do that in some capacity? Just sponsor something, so your name's just on something.
Probably, yeah, but not for Leeds. It's too expensive.
What would it be?
I'd just do non-league.
Right.
I might try to. Well, for a while, like Featherstone Rovers played at the Big Fellas Stadium. So that can't cost much. If like a local,
Big fellas is
if a local nightclub is able
is
to.
it proper chrome and carpets, vomit, stinking, horrible? is that a fair description?
I wouldn't like to say in case we get a sponsorship deal with them. I
Right.
think it's a good place to go.
Yeah.
Very cheap.
If you won a load of money, you should sponsor Levi's. And at the start of any of their legal appointments, they'd have to bring you out for the first 5 minutes or something, and you can explain it all to them.
Anyway, we got waylaid there, didn't we? I mean, statistically as well, I was looking at the numbers before. It bears it out. We had far more chances than them, far more possession initially.
At 2-0, you were busy telling me that we had no shots on target, according to the stats you were looking at. I was like, well,
FOTMob did update afterwards that I think they just hadn't kicked the stats through yet. It said we'd had no shots on target despite being 2-0 up.
right. Yeah, we had at least 3 in the end.
It's been pointed out by Elliot saying that imagine Georgie's excitement at meeting with a real life superhero at Wrexham though. He would, wouldn't he? Oh wow! Maybe on the documentary, he'd love it, wouldn't he? Max suggesting we'll get Plymouth away next.
I feel like that's almost too interesting.
Yeah,
Plymouth away. We don't play them much, do we? It's going to be someone who have we played absolutely loads.
Arsenal away on a Sunday night.
Arsenal away is a very reliable shout.
Yeah,
or someone else who's just been championshipy for years. Southampton away.
Yeah,
That'd be more boring than Plymouth.
Yeah.
Do we play Plymouth away in the league soon?
yes.
It'll be like back-to-back weekends, won't it?
Oh,
Once in the cup, once in the league.
Something like that. Substitutions. Just have a quick skate through them. What do you reckon? All good in the hood?
Thought he might have done them a bit earlier.
What that?
He never does
Never
he?
does that, though, does he?
No, I know.
He's done it. He's done it once just to make a point, and now he's stopped that nonsense.
Particularly because Pat Bamford looked really tired.
So we had. So the first one was Luke Ayling. Who did Ayling come on for then?
Shacks.
That was on for Shacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 78. Farewell performance potentially.
I think it's just that Shackleton was playing for the first time in ages.
Yeah. But-
Was it?
Yeah. He's just come back from injury, hasn't he? I think.
So I think that was fine. I think that's just a simple bit of resting someone who's not played for a while.
I suppose the talking point on the bench was more who wasn't there, and that Cresswell couldn't even make the bench.
yeah.
And whether that's they don't want him cup tied because he's going to leave, or he just doesn't fancy him. Whatever.
Then you triple whammy of Dan James, Poveda, and Glenn Kamara coming on 5 minutes from the end.
None of them scored. Useless.
Purveyor could have if Joseph, who came on, was that in stoppage time?
Yeah,
Messed up a bit of a
94
2-on-1,
minutes,
didn't he?
wasn't it?
Dan James got his assist though, didn't he?
Did he? Oh, was it his corner?
I think he's at the corner, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a good corner, that as well.
Yeah. And then Matteo Joseph came on towards the end. So again, would you have rotated a bit sooner or not asked?
Only like, 20 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes earlier, something like that. Give them a proper run because it felt like none of them got any actual time to do much. Coming on like 80 minutes for attacking plays doesn't seem like enough time, does it, to have an impact? But,
Should we talk about Patrick Bamford's goal again?
Not going to complain. Paveda's hair looked very sprayed on. I did notice that.
Right.
Real straight lines on it.
You do tend to gravitate towards the
very
hair,
down.
don't you? Like you feel. I think it's an area of close analysis.
If you watch
for
it again when he came on, it was alarming. It was very dense looking. I don't know if he's had his head coloured in. It's worth checking.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I've got to say about the subs.
I did notice that Pat Bamford beard, it looked nice.
Good. Any other hair chat you want to indulge in while we wait for the post match?
I'm still not on board with Claessen's. I feel like it's made him look younger, which is weird.
Although
he seemed very fresh-faced.
But he has beefed out a bit now. Is he approaching the midlife crisis already? Taking tips from Pat? Who knows?
Don't know. Who else played? I feel like we've not talked about. Oh, Pirro.
Yeah.
He played, didn't he? Didn't do out again. I feel like
he's in the wrong position there, though, isn't he?
It does feel like that. I know at the start of the season, Farke had that big explainer. But it didn't really work again.
It felt like with Bamford up front as well, he was more of a number 10 today. There was a really nice pass for him early on. I think there was one in the second half that was all right. But yeah, he just doesn't do a lot of it, does he? Like, he's not involved much, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, today it didn't matter, but it's just more as a long-term trends of sort of seeing him in there and going, it felt like quite an easy game today for him to play that position, and it still didn't particularly work.
In terms of stats, Tomo's been doing some good work here, who is at LUFC1992_V2. Statistically, an American is more likely to be struck by lightning during their lifetime. That's 1 in 15,300. Than Leeds United being drawn away from home for the 14th consecutive time in the FA Cup.
Well, let's see.
Question is, which American is going to be struck by lightning?
Well, we've all got our favourites.
Who's yours?
It'd probably be Brendan, wouldn't it? Old unlucky Brendan.
I don't think he'd withstand it. Like
he scored, didn't he, Aronson?
Yeah, twice in a friendly, I think, wasn't it?
Oh, was it friendly?
Against like a third tier side.
Oh, fuck off then. I saw the goal and I think it must have been on Milan's Instagram, actually, thinking about it.
And our friend Johnny Cooper at JR Cooper 26. For the first time in Leeds United's history, 4 different players starting a game as captain have scored a goal in a single season. Cooper against Cardiff, Ayling against West Brom, Strauch versus Salford Ipswich Preston, and Ampadu versus Peterborough.
He also tweeted that it's the first time a Leeds number 4 has scored since Rudy Austin in 2015.
Wow,
bloody hell.
It's because Adam Forshaw's had it for so long, though, isn't it?
That's true.
So unless Elon has completely killed Twitter, I don't see the comments coming out of the post-match press conference just yet. But I think we can fairly much predict what they're saying. As I was saying, it'll be some tears just trickling down Ferguson's face. Farke would say we deserved it.
The Cup does interesting things, though, because it was Berardi scored in the Cup. It was in a defeat, wasn't it? But Ampadu never scores. Gets a couple today. Berardi got them in. They were both Cup games, weren't they? Yeah. Goals against, it was Salford in the League Cup, the other one. But who can we fix in the next round?
Joe Rodon's due one, isn't he?
It could never get. Adam Forshaw could still never score in the Cup, could he? Which is a shame. And also now we've progressed. I think you were saying the Norwich game's the one that's going to get moved.
Probably.
Possibly. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I didn't just guess we'd be in this round. I was like, well,
this is new territory for all of us.
Let's worry about it when it happens. We got to the 5th round last year.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Beat Accrington and Cardiff, didn't we?
We did.
Everyone was too sad about us getting relegated, though, weren't they?
That's when, yeah.
We should have concentrated.
Just don't you remember, ahead of beating Fulham, Jackson Jesse Marsh did like the shape of the cup.
Yeah.
When he was a kid.
Yeah, just looking at Man City 5, Huddersfield 0 today. 84% possession for Man City.
Well, I think 5-0's probably fine, isn't it?
They had like 911 accurate passes. Let's have a look at the overall passing stats for the...
We've been pumped in worse ways there in recent years, haven't we?
I mean, I'm not doing it for the benefit of laughing at Huddersfield, just like kind of the stupidity of the way that the game's gone. That's been allowed to be a thing.
Yeah. What were the odds pre-match? I was looking at it. Were they 80 to 1 or something?
70, I think.
70
you
to
can
1.
Get 70 to 1 on Huddersfield ahead of the match, yeah.
It shouldn't really be the case, should it? There's only one division between them, but, you know.
I'm just looking at the number of passes. So Man City, 964 passes against Huddersfield's 179, and touches in opposition box 4 for Huddersfield.
That's not bad. It's actually not bad. I think they had about the same against us. I assume they didn't have that obese fella playing right back anymore. Because he may have struggled a bit today.
Man of the match, then go on, pick one.
It's got to be Ampadu, hasn't it?
You think? For his brace, or Paddy for his Thunder Bastard?
Bamford's goal was that good.
Ampadu's only scored once in his career before today, if Wikipedia's to be believed.
He didn't really have to do out today, does he? That was his ball up to Bamford as well, wasn't it? Although I think if you're crediting that as an assist, it's sort of...
Well, Bamford got an assist and a goal too, didn't he? So, I suppose, Paddy.
Shots fired by John Newsom, I think, presumably on Radio Leeds. I'm just seeing the quotes now. We'll have to verify that these have been said, but I struggle to see how such a poor player continues to be selected. So desperate at basic defending. For me, he's a mile off. Guess who?
Firpo?
Yeah. Yeah.
He wasn't terrible today, was he?
I've seen him play a lot worse.
Yeah, I thought defensively he seemed all right. He does do his own thing a bit.
Their right winger went past him a few times, but there was that moment in the first half where their guy on the right just dived and fell over. And even he wasn't convinced by it, was he? He sort of looked at the ref and went, yeah.
Yeah, what's he called? He was like it sounded like Doku, but it wasn't. It was something.
Poku or something.
Poku, yeah. It was like a full Jeremy Doku
Regen.
tribute act. He was like there on the wing doing stepovers, but he just fell over rather than doing anything decent.
Well, listen, in the absence of the quotes, I don't know if they have come through yet or not. We can pick up on them and chat about them with Phil on Monday.
I'm trying to remember when Pat Bamford last scored like a really good goal.
Today?
Obviously.
Oh, you mean before today?
Before today.
Yeah, it happened about an hour
It's
or two.
like Leicester in the Premier
That's
League
what
or
I'm
something.
thinking.
That Villa hat-trick was amazing. But
Yeah, it feels like he's been scoring sort of tap-ins and ones you'd expect for a while. But that was something else.
It was all right, wasn't it?
It reminded me of the one where Bielsa had to give him a hug in training. I think that was just a big diagonal ball over the top that he hit on the volley. But it's similar sort of vibe to it.
maybe we should only give him volleys. Because that header was
Heads and volleys.
such an easier chance and he
Well,
messed that up.
Well, I suppose he scored a header in the last game, though, didn't he?
Fair.
Heads and volleys champion, Pat
Right.
Bamford.
Tell you what, we will wrap it up there. So thanks for joining us on the stream. We'll be back with more match ball action at the weekend. Cardiff, always a favourite stomping ground of ours.
Fun trip.
We are, presuming we do wear all white. Cardiff was still unbeaten in the all white kit, so it's guaranteed 3 points.
Another win in the away, the third today, though.
Yeah.
Is that only the second win?
I think, Blackburn as well. Yeah. But then we lost at Preston and West Brom, didn't we? But anyway, let's go restock those Patrick Bamford mugs and we will catch up with you with Phil on Monday and all the usual stuff coming through the week. We'll see you next.
The Match Ball.